Welcome everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend, and today we are going to be having a brilliant tournament game with Cathay and Matthew going up against Tzeentch and Suave on the Kislev Troll country. So this was a brilliant game during a best of 3 tournament, I believe, hosted by Human Boy, and we are going to be having Forsaken in the front line, so we can see quite a few units, 5 in total, and it looks like Furies are going to be dotted along the battle line as well. Spawn and Tzeentch in the backside, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. They're going to be bringing the armor sundering here to really help the weapon strength of the Forsaken. A very, very good partnership indeed. Now in the sky, we are going to have the Flying Duck of Metal Magic. He's going to be here with the Greater Arcane Conduit, given that spell mastery, as well as the spells of the Searing Doom and the ability of the Portal Glyph. So for the side of Matthew and Cathay, we are going to have Jade Warriors in the front, and look at these bad boys, the Regiment of Renown, the Dune Dragons, ready to go here with these fantastically green Jade shields. Now, they're excellent here with their magic damage, anti-large armor piercing. They also have charge reflection, expert charge defense, and so many amazing abilities. And my biggest, my best, my favorite bad boy in the game, the Terracotta Sentinel, dueling here on the battlefield. Oh, I can't wait for him to fight alongside the Dune Dragons. In the middle, we are going to have the double Celestial Dragon Crossbows, bringing the... Oh, actually made the triple Celestial Dragon Crossbows, bringing the mass AP on the battlefield. Long Spearmen throughout, and it looks like here we are going to have some cavalry contingent, so 2 units of the Jade Lancers, which are going to be pretty heavily armoured and have some relative charge bonus. So kind of surrounding as well, we can see in the backside here, we're going to have more Furies coming around the back. So it looks like it's going to be at least 3 units in the battlefield, 2 that can be summoned here from the Almighty Duck of Metal, and we're going to be firing into the front. And this is going to be, oh my god, so much damage. That shield just got deleted. It's going to be a bit of focus fire here on the front. Maybe getting 3 units onto one isn't perhaps a bad choice. We can get in and just delete 1 unit of the Forsaken rather quickly. Portal Glyph coming rather early, so we are going to see a quick summon, maybe to compromise here these Celestial Dragon Crossbows. Now, of course, they are going to get reload skill and 12 leadership in the pocket when they're going to be getting bolstered here. Cavalry of the Jade Lancers can possibly recharge here to the Tzeentch, but for the majority of the battle line here, we are now going to be fighting in melee combat, so we are going to get the Forsaken trying to shred through the heavy armor of the Jade Warriors. The sword and shields are very strong here with their 48 melee defense. They're going to be fighting. You can see kind of those shields rebounding as they slash through them. Now we're going to be coming up with the monstrous infantry of the Spawn and Tzeentch, and look how quickly they just push through the pocket. Fighting here up against these Celestial Dragon Crossbows, and we should be able to hold in the middle here. What is this going to be? This is going to be a Searing Doom on top of the Dune Dragons. We are going to get the Wrath of the Storm as we get Miao Ying here in the middle. Now, Miao Ying today, she's going to be bringing the Disdain of the Dragon, so -8 melee attack and a bucket load of ability. She's also going to have the Wrath of the Storm and the Transformation of the Dragon. She's going to be just pushing through the middle here, trying to disrupt the best way she can. Other than that, the big dragon is going to be fighting here. Sorry, the big duck is going to be fighting against the Jade Lancers. But I do want to see a duck-dragon showdown. I'd really love to see that here in the middle. Spawn and Tzeentch here are going to be fighting and ripping through the Jade Warriors. They have broken. They're going to get pushed off the edge of the map. We do see the Terracotta Sentinel dueling bravely here up against the big wily metal caster. In the back, we are going to be breaking the leadership here of the Celestial Dragon Crossbows. A lot of these bad boys are going to be falling rather quickly. 2 minutes into the game, balance of power is going to be even. Searing Doom coming through. We do see here Miao Ying with no spells at the moment, as she is going to be in dragon form, but we still have the very powerful Dune Dragons in the back pocket. They're going to be charging forward. They could come here on top of the Spawn and Tzeentch and do some very nice work. Anti-large armor piercing, very good up against Forsaken and Spawn alike. So we are going to see a Duck-Dragon showdown here in the middle, both fighting quite nicely up against each other. 7,400 from Miao Ying, going up against 7,800, and then also a shield from the Exalted Lord. In the back, we are going to see more butchery here at the Spawn and Tzeentch. Just going to be getting those windmill arms going here in the backside up against these Celestial Dragon Crossbows. Just going to be shredding through that infantry, and the crossbows really are suffering. Jade Lancers are going to have this nice, big, heavily armored kind of roadblock here in the middle to prevent the Forsaken and the Spawn from pushing through. Hopefully, we can get the majority of the forces here back together. Fighting in the middle, we are going to get a second and final Portal Glyph activated. The ability here going on top of the Dragon of Miao Ying. We are going to get the second faction ability of Tzeentch. Furies in the sky, now they can fight down here up against the dragon, but of course these are just going to be basic Furies, so they're not going to get any of those shield abilities from Tzeentch. Now they're going to be charging down, fighting here up against the Peasant Long Spearmen. They have lost all their armor, so we do actually see that the beautiful Furies getting in, and they'll do all the whammy damage up against the Peasant Long Spearmen. Celestial Dragon Crossbows really trying to get out of there, but of course they don't quite have the mobility, and they're going to be getting dragged down here by just mass force of infantry. In the middle, Jade Lancers breaking off the Forsaken. Crossbows getting pushed away as well as more Forsaken. Peasant Long Spearmen are going to be foaming at the mouth as they charge down up against the Forsaken of Tzeentch. We are going to be firing in. Crossbows here going to be shooting and taking down the spawn of Tzeentch. Only 10 armor for these bad boys, so they are going to get dragged down rather quickly. We are going to get a Searing Doom in the pocket. Now that was there targeted for the Dune Dragons, but actually look like that going to be going on the Forsaken of Tzeentch. Now the bad boys are going to be fighting very hard in combat. They don't have the harmony, unfortunately. No crossbows nearby. Forsaken are going to be getting dragged down with an inch of their life, 980 health, and it looks like some of the spawn here are going to be trying to fight up against the Sentinel. So yet again, for the second time, Dragon and Duck going into hand-to-hand combat, or shall we say beak-to-tail combat, as they're going to be just absolutely going at each other here. It looks like Miao Ying, though, not doing excellent. Now, we do get a good hit that will bring down the shield of the Exalted Lord, and now we're going to be getting into that juicy HP, hopefully trying to see if we can bring it down rather quickly. We do also have the Spawn of Tzeentch in behind, doing the armor sundering here on Miao Ying, and doing some pretty good damage over time. The Jade Boris with these sword and shields coming back to the battle, as well as the Celestial Dragon crossbows. If they can turn, they can certainly burn here on the Metal Caster. Jade Boris trying to compromise the Lord choice, and we have more spawn coming to try and fight, and we do actually break down the Jade Lancers. Sword and Shield are going to move forward here heroically. They will be throwing their lives, unfortunately, but they will be doing it for the Dragon God herself. So Miao Ying is going to be remembering them and putting them down in history as they sacrifice themselves into the maw of the spawn of Tzeentch. And we do actually have the Exalted Lord fighting in the backside here up against the Celestial Dragon crossbows. They will also be throwing their lives down here for the Empress herself, and she's actually going to be going down into normal form. She's going to be getting a bit of healing here with the Earthblade. She also has regrowth in the back pocket as well. So quite a bit of healing here coming from Matthew. We get a good heal. We are going to get an overcast regrowth. There's going to be 1.2% there for a considerable length of time. Fighting here with the spawn of Tzeentch, they're going to be so good here up against the infantry unit. As you can see, quite a few of them, they're chunky boys, so they don't quite get too many models here going up against the Storm Dragon. So for the majority of the battlefield, we do actually have the Terracotta Sentinel available. Balance of power is going to be in the favour of Grand Cathay. We actually have some pretty healthy crossbows coming back, and the Dune Dragons, they are going to be holding with only 15 models, 300 HP, but they don't care. They're going to be charging forward here. They need to fight for the Empress so they can bring down the mighty Tzeentch today. We do see in the middle, Miao Ying going to be getting some really good healing, and now going into hand-to-hand combat back up against the Metal Caster. The Dark Caster is going to be chasing and really trying to drag down Miao Ying quite quickly here, but I don't think it's going to happen. She has pretty good melee defense. 55 will allow her to hold, and it looks like the right-hand side of Grand Cathay is going to be breaking and faltering. In the middle, we do see the Doom Dragons. They're going to be holding extremely strong now to 210 HP, -2 leadership, 10 models still left on the battlefield. They could maybe, no, they are going to shatter. That's really unfortunate. And we do see a Searing Doom here up against the double Peasant Long Spearmen. One shatters, the second does hold with a bit of armor sundering here as we chase off with the Spawn of Tzeentch. Forsaken in as well, they'll do some really good damage indeed. And the Sentinel really needs to get close by here to Miao Ying. The game's pretty close, 7 minutes in. Balance of power is actually going to be in the favour of Grand Cathay, but we do see the Duck here. He's going to be rather low, down to 4,200 HP. If we get one big mighty swing from the Sentinel, maybe, just maybe, we could finish off the Lord of Change. Cavalry is going to be returning. Earthblade there with the Wrath of the Storm, giving magic damage, and then also that melee attack with immune to psychology, really handy up against this terrifying Duck in the sky. Hopefully a bit of cycle charging here could really finish off the lightly armoured Spawn. 2 units going to be fighting in the backside up against the Celestial Dragon crossbows, down to 65 armour, thanks to the armour sundering, and a miss there from the Searing Doom. Swar trying to get back into this. He is going to be using the ability here, which is going to do a bit of armor sundering on Miao Ying and a little bit of damage overall. So pretty good stuff there. He's going to be doing very well at chasing off Matthew's infantry and cavalry forces. And I think it's looking pretty... If we can actually manage to do the really good stuff from Suave here, we are going to isolate the Lord Choice. Miao Ying now fighting hand-to-hand up against the big burly Duck. And we're actually going to be having Terracotta Sentinel kind of distracted, fighting up against the Spawn of Tzeentch. Now, Spawn of Tzeentch will finish off the Celestial Dragon crossbows. We are going to get a bit of an Earthblood there in the pockets. It's going to be healing both. That is going to be the nightmare And there we go, we get the dragon back in, and that healing is just such a nightmare to take down all of these very tanky elements. And also here with the Unbreakable Sentinel, it's going to be another fight here in the middle, 65 melee attack, and he's going to be exhausted, so that is going to be reduced by a considerable number. I think it's about 30%, so he will be losing somewhere in the region of about 18 melee attack. But we are going to be fighting up against the Exalted Lord. You can see those spinning blades trying to fight here. And he is actually going to be losing his shield, 4,100 HP. The dragon sadly can't terrify anything left on the battlefield, but we can remove, there we go. We do actually lose the spawn of Tzeentch. In the middle, the Lord choice is still going to be fighting. We now have Jade Lancers and Peasant Long Spearmen and a pullout there for Tzeentch. I think Suave would have probably found it quite difficult to get back in, but maybe we took care of the crossbows. We had a bit of an isolation here for the dragon, but we have Peasant Long Spearmen and Jade Cavalry as well, which is certainly a bit of a nightmare, but a really, really good game. I think it was right up to the end there, and it was certainly very, very close indeed. We saw the Meowing the Storm Dragon coming in at 1,697, only with healing today, which is rather interesting. 780 there for the Terracotta Sentinel, with 1,043 for the Doom Dragons. 1,300, 430, with 740 for the Silver Dragon Crossbows, with 1,068 and 350 for the Jade Lancers. The Sword and Shield Jade Borrows coming at 202 and 216, with 250, 400 and 980 for the Peasant Long Spearmen. These bad boys are certainly very powerful. 2,800 for the Big Metal Duck, with 130 kills, with 900, 550, 960 and 480 there for the Spawn of Tzeentch. For the 5 units of the Forsaken of Tzeentch coming at 350, 680, 212, 480 and 470, and the Triple Furies coming in at 400, 230 and 520. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please smash that like button. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Check out that description where you can find all my other social media platforms, including that Discord and Twitch. Other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.